What makes those who want to enjoy luxury and those who sell luxury, sales professionals and luxury entrepreneurs, stumble the most? Well, I can tell you from experience, coaching luxury professionals and being involved with luxury brands, large and small, that it is conflicts in the mind. Conflicts about who they are, conflicts about who they should be, conflicts about who they are not. In this video, I want to share with you ideas on how you can flourish irrespective of where you are. We're going to talk about what's next for you in luxury. My name is Andre Taylor, and on this channel, I talk about luxury, premier living, and prosperity. Now, in this video, I want to share with you some ideas, observations, and some thoughts about how you can rise in luxury by understanding what's next. And what's next in luxury, I think, is uniform for everyone in luxury, because we are at a point where something is so important that we can no longer ignore it. Luxury environments can be very intimidating. Hushed tones, high prices, products that are really at the highest level, very sophisticated and successful people. This can all be very intimidating to those in luxury settings. But I believe that that intimidation is because everyone is so fixated on the products and the environment and the fact that they may feel that that is a bit of a distance from who they are. It is why I believe so strongly that it is important to understand something that will make you more effective as a sales professional. It'll make you more successful enjoying luxury, and it will make you more successful as an entrepreneur if you are involved in growing a luxury brand. And that is understanding that there's nothing to be intimidated about at all. In fact, you should feel completely comfortable in a luxury setting, because when we talk about luxury, we're talking about the best, and we all want the best. We want to rise to our best. We want to be our best. We want to experience our best. So don't be intimidated, because luxury is more than those things, those beautiful things that you see in the shops and boutiques and stores and in those fancy brand names. I was speaking with a young man who was building a luxury brand, an independent luxury brand, and he was designing some very elegant clothing. And he was telling me about all the things he was going to do, and it mostly revolved around content online. And now I realize that we are all producing content these days and that we are all very media-centric. But nowhere in his plans did I hear anything about connecting with people. I heard about the posts he was going to make, the videos he was going to shoot, what he was going to do and how he was going to do it. But I said to him, you're selling clothing. You should connect with people who want to enjoy them, who want to buy them, who want to experience them. What is your plan in that regard? His plan was so abstract. It was so based on so many things that he thought were priority. I said to him, do you realize that your priority is to connect with people, human beings? We often look at the big luxury brand names and we gauge the market based on the half dozen or so holding companies out there, what they're doing and what their various brands are doing. This one is up, this one is down. The market is cooling, the market is getting more excited. This person has moved from this brand name to the other, and so forth. And we begin to look at luxury in a very abstract way. It's very easy to look at quarterly performance and store closings and openings and various abstract ideas. But the challenge really is connecting with more people who appreciate the luxury product, the service, and building better relationships with those people. Whether you're an A player or whether you're somewhere below A player, that is the same challenge that A players have. We sometimes in luxury talk about the importance of emotional intelligence. But I have to tell you, that's just a highbrow way of saying that you know how to deal with people. You understand their feelings, their fantasies, their dreams, their desires, their ambitions, their frustrations, their commitments. And I believe that when you begin to understand people better, you will be very successful at selling luxury, enjoying luxury, experiencing luxury, and all of those things. Because you will begin to appreciate the fact that we're talking about products and services that were created by people, for people, that someone designed the product, that someone had that idea in their mind, and that someone decided that that was something that others would enjoy. So remember that we're talking about humanity, and I believe that that is so much more important today, particularly coming off of years of a pandemic and COVID-19 where people were isolated and all of these things. People are out and there's conferences and there's activities and there's meetings and gatherings and so forth. In some cases, there are organizations who are having their first gatherings after many years. Why is this important? Because we realize that while apps are wonderful and screens are wonderful, that connecting with people and understanding people is very important. So luxury humanity is something I want you to really think about and really consider how you will apply more humanity in what you do. Sometimes I'm in a high-end restaurant or hotel or some kind of venue, and I will interact with someone in the brand, working for the brand. And I'll realize that the person really doesn't know much about how to interact with someone. They might be young, very inexperienced, and they won't really know how to process. I'll observe them, and maybe an older person will make a joke, and they won't know quite how to react. And I think that this is one of the challenges that luxury brands and many other brands will have going forward. The more reliant we are on technology, the more focused we are on apps and working remotely and working through screens, the more challenges we will find in being able to connect with people and relate to people. And I believe that it is a quality that will be in high demand because someone, through all of the automation and AI and all the things that are coming, will have to be able to apply that human touch and that human quality, because that will be the thing that will elevate the experience above all else. While I'm talking about human qualities and elevating the experience, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, to comment, and to share it, because it's important for you to do that and to help me get this message out of humanity. Now, I know you know about streetwear, but I actually sold streetwear on the street. One summer, while I was a teenager, a group of us would go down to wholesalers and we would get these, get apparel, essentially, and we would take it in a van and we would go to Upper Manhattan and Harlem and the Bronx and sell this on the street. Now, this wasn't compliant with licensing agreements. But one of the things I learned in that summer and that experience was really how to relate to people in a different way. I had worked in a retail environment, but this was very different. We were literally carrying clothes through the street and interacting with people and selling these clothes on the spot. You learn about personalities. You learn about someone who's reluctant to buy. You learn about someone who's eager to buy. You learn about someone who postpones it and says, are you going to be around? You learn how to take someone who might have some doubt about buying a product or help them make that decision. I really credit that experience in others with helping me understand humanity, help me understand how people react. You would see someone, for example, and they would see a product and they would think, wow, I really want this. How do I get this? No cell phones back then. So they would think, let me see if I can find my husband or my wife who has a few extra dollars. So how much is that again? And they would find a way to make that purchase right in that moment. That experience taught me a lot about when it really comes down to it, everyone is the same. Everyone relates to products the same. Everyone has the same desires. Everyone has the same excitement. When you experience that, you begin to understand that no matter what setting, no matter what price, no matter what product, you're dealing with humanity. Don't forget, humans buy. No matter how great your product or service is, no matter how great the experience, no matter how elegant, no matter how sophisticated, how well it's made, how interesting it is, it really comes down to connecting with humans. If you don't have enough conversations, relationships, and connections to sell a product, you won't sell it. Whenever I have run into trouble in business, it has not been because I haven't had a great product or service. It's been because I have not had enough real conversations going, real relationships where someone can commit to a product or service that's available. No matter how you slice it, that is what is required. The important factor here is connecting with humans. Now, even though I say it's all about humans, it's all intangible as well. And when I talk about it being intangible, we're talking about emotions, desires, interests. We're talking about what's inside of a person. I knew a media executive, and he was at a very high level in the company. He made a lot of money. He had a beautiful lifestyle. He drove a beautiful car, had a wonderful manor home in Connecticut. And he lost his job. He lost his job, and I realized that. I gave him a call, and I said, hey, let's have lunch. And we had lunch, and I could see that he was down. He was diminished because of not being in this role that he had. We had a good lunch, and I have to tell you, while we were talking, I realized that this is the same fellow that I worked with. This is the same fellow that I admired. This is the same qualities. It's just he no longer had those things that he had counted on in his career. And he thanked me for meeting with him and having lunch with him. I connected him with an executive staffing firm, and I believe they were able to help him and find some opportunities for him. The interesting thing to me is that irrespective of losing his position, no longer commanding the same income, no longer being in charge of a division and having this title, he was the same person. It was all intangible. And while he might have felt that he had lost something in this process and had some doubts about whether he could continue the way he had in his career, I saw him no differently. And I believe that that connection, that intangible connection and understanding made him feel good about our conversation, our lunch, and our connection, because I really didn't care about whether or not he had this title or not, or what had taken place. It was the intangible aspects that he had, the personality, the intellect, the skill, the negotiation power, all of those things that were still there. Now, seeing this executive the same is important, because that's the way we want to look at our clients and customers. We want to look at them intangibly. We want to look through the personality and understand that underneath all of that are certain desires, are certain interests, are certain fascinations. And when we begin to tap into that and understand that and do that well, we are doing a great job when it comes to selling luxury and frankly any product. It is connecting with that person and forgetting about the thing, forgetting about how expensive that thing is, forgetting about whether that person is successful or not so successful in our eyes, whether that person is wealthy or not. It's looking through that and understanding that we are all the same. We all have the same desires. And when you look at a person that way and understand that you're serving humanity, you will be very successful at what you do. Now, this is luxury without the shiny object. And it is something that is quite fascinating because when you begin to understand luxury in this way, you can appreciate the many aspects of luxury that surround you. One of the favorite interviews that I saw recently was with the actor, comedian, and talk show host, Whoopi Goldberg. And she was sitting in her Italian villa and sitting by the sea and talking about her life and talking about her career. She lived in a housing project in Lower Manhattan, and she dropped out of school. Her mother said, listen, when you decide to do this, you have to promise me that you will continue to educate yourself. You will continue to expose yourself to art, and you will continue to grow. This was one of the things that her mother really made a priority for her. It's an interesting thing because it shows you that her mother valued luxury without the shiny object. Now, I'm from New York, and I have always enjoyed the museums, the libraries, the art, the music in the streets, the fascinating places you can go. You can walk down the street in New York and you'll see someone of modest income, and right next to them you'll see a celebrity walking by, and you'll see tourists, and you'll see all sorts of interesting people, and there's so much to enjoy. When you begin to understand luxury without the shiny object, that you can go into a place and you can spend very little and have a luxury experience, and that luxury is really a state of mind, that it's a way of thinking. It's tied to the intangible aspects connected to you. You will really appreciate New York, and frankly, you'll appreciate any city, because that's what this is all about. It's understanding luxury without the shiny object. One of the blocks that people have is they get so connected to the physical thing. And because they become so connected and enamored by the physical thing, they miss the underlying idea of that thing. And so when you are talking to a client or customer about a product or service, get to those underlying ideas. Share with them the excitement they will have enjoying this, the experience they will have, how comfortable they will be sitting in this beautiful sofa, having conversation, enjoying friends, having a laugh and playing games, watching a movie. Think about how nice it will be to wear this beautiful color to the event, to the graduation, to the party, to the celebration, whatever that is. It's the intangible that really makes everything come alive. And when you begin to understand those intangibles and you make that a priority in your conversation, in your interaction, in the sales process, it really makes it so much more of an enjoyable experience for you and for the client. You know, what we're talking about here also is creativity, the power of creativity, and understanding that creativity is about an idea. Often when I'm coaching a sales professional, and I'll try to get them to be creative about the way they interact with a client. Coaching a young man, and he was serving some clients on the Upper East Side in New York, one of the most prosperous neighborhoods in the country, and certainly in New York, dealing with these very successful people. I said to him, listen, you have the same desires, the same goals, the same interests. Get interested in books, get interested in art, get interested in ideas, get interested in business, get interested in the kinds of things that these people are interested in. They're interested in making a contribution to society. They're interested in causes. They're interested in using their potential. Get interested in that. Be creative in helping them do those things. You know, even things like sometimes a salesperson will say, well, I had a call and it didn't really go well and I didn't approach it the right way. And I'll say to them, we'll call them back. And they say, oh, I can't do that. I can't bother them. Well, tell them you approached it the wrong way. Say, I'm calling you back because I didn't explain that well. Let me explain that a little better. Let me approach this a little differently. Be creative and understand that you're dealing with human beings. And when you understand that, it'll make every conversation better, every interaction better. Now, I want you to remember that you're selling an idea. Luxury is an idea. Money is an idea. Affluence is an idea. All of these things are ideas. Before we see it physically, it is an idea. It is something that originated in someone's mind. And what's next for you in luxury is understanding ideas, creativity, luxury without the shiny object, and the fact that humanity is humanity. When you begin to understand these elements and pull them together, you will be more successful in your career. You will enjoy offering luxury. You will enjoy experiencing luxury. And you will rise in luxury and your business will be more successful. So I want you to focus on the idea of luxury humanity because that is what's next. Now take a look at this video.